Hey, y'all. What's up? All right. So, if you can believe it, we have finally made it to the final week of this school year. Okay? It doesn't feel like it, but we made it. All right. So, the main thing that you got this week is just an SOL review pack over everything that we've gone over this year. Okay? So, it's just breaking down today. We're just doing SOL 6.1 and 6.2, and then you have to go through it. Main thing you need to remember is that all work has to be turned in by Friday. Okay? That means packet people, it's due by Friday. And if you're on Classroom, it's also due by Friday, Monday at the latest. Okay? All right, so let's get through 6.1 and 6.2 so we can be finished for today. All right, so here we go. All right. So we got 6.1 and 6.2 today, which is mainly going to be dealing with ratios and FDP. Okay. All right, so here we go. Number 1. In a certain 6th grade history class, there are 13 boys and 11 girls. What is the ratio of girls to boys? Okay, so girls is going to be out front. So we're going to have 11 out front, 13 in the back. So I can write it as with the colon, or as I call it, the dot, the fraction, or with the word 2. So which of those has 11 to 13? This one right here, 11 to 13. All right, number 2. The ratio of pencils to markers in a box is 5 to 3. Which of the following could be true? Okay, so what this is kind of showing is we're probably looking at some equivalent ratios. Okay, so I'm going to start with the ratio of 5 to 3, but then I can figure out what are some other equivalents. So I can multiply by 2. Okay, so that'd be 10 to 6. By 3 is 15 to 9. 5 times 4 is 20 to 12. 25 to 15, so on and so forth. All 4 of these are equivalent to 3 to 5 because I can simplify these down and I end up with 5 to 3. Okay? So which of these statements have the same equivalent? This one right here. Okay? 2, here's the thing. Here's my problem with the other 3. If I were to look at that, that means they wrote the ratio backwards. They would have 3 to 5 out front. Okay, it would be 3 to 5. 3 to 5, 9 to 15 to 5 to 8. Well, besides this one doesn't really make sense at all. Both of these are equivalent, but they wrote the ratio wrong. This one, I have no idea. I'm thinking more they added. Okay. All right, 3. Last one with ratios. Which of the following is the ratio of squares to all shapes? So let's count. I have 1, 2, 3 squares. 2, 4, 6, 7. There are 3 squares. There are 7 shapes altogether, so I should have the ratio of 3 to 7. There's the ratio 3 to 7. Okay? All right. That's all with ratios. Okay? So if you had a problem with ratios, stop the video, rewind it, re-roll it, or hit me up in Classroom, Facebook, Instagram, email. You know the drill. All right, so let's get to it. 6.2 out of the way. All right, 6.2. So this is where we're dealing with fraction, decimal percent, FDP. So number 4, which of the following is true? Okay. So I've got to figure out which of the following. So one of these is true, one of them is not true. Okay. Now, I can go ahead and rule this one out right now. Because if I were to move this decimal back 2 places, that should be 0.034. Because I can move it back, I get 3.4%, not 34 hundredths. So I know that one's out. Okay. This is 2%. That means 2 out of 100. Okay. This is 2/10. 2/10 and 2/100 is not the same thing. This is like 2 cents. That would be 20 cents. Not the same thing. 15% is equal to 1 over 15. Well, 15%, that's 15 over 100. I can divide by 5 because they both are divisible by 5. That'd be 3 over 20. Okay? Not the same thing. So I already know my answer is C. 3 tenths is equal to 30 hundredths. 30 cents, 30 cents. Number 5, which of the following is not equivalent to 3/5? Okay? So what I'm taking is the colored squares are going to be my numerator. All my squares are going to be my denominator. Well, if I look at A, that's 3 colored to 5 altogether. Well, 3/5 is equal to 3/5. So I already know that one's out. If I look at B, 3/6 over 5/10. Well, 6/10, if I divide that by 2, that will give me 3/5. So I know B is out, which is not equivalent. If I look at C, that's 100 square. So if I count the tens, that's 3 over 10. Okay. I could also write that as 30 over 100. I can divide by 10, give me 3/10. Well, 3/10 is not equivalent to 3/5. Let me check D, but I think I have my correct answer. But if I look over here, still over 100. That's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 over 100. I can get rid of these zeros. Again, or divided by 10. So that's left with 6/10. We've already figured out that is equal to 3/5. So I know D is out. So I know C is my correct answer. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Wrong way. There it is. All right. Last 2 questions, and we will be done for today. All right. 6. List the numbers in order from least to greatest. So my smallest is going to go on the left. My largest is going to go to the right. Now, I want you to notice I have a fraction, I have a decimal, and I have a percentage. I want to get them all the same way. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make them all percents. Okay? So I'm just going to add in a 0 here because 3/10 is equivalent to 30 hundredths. Move that to the right. So I end up with 30%. 1/3, that's one of those we should already know. Well, if I write that as a percentage, that's 33 3/10% repeating. So if I look at my whole numbers, 30% is smaller than 32 and 33, but I want to write it the way they gave me. So 3/10 is going to go first. 32% is going to go second. 1/3 is going to go last. All right. And last one. Which of the following is not greater than 6/10? Again, I'm going to add a 0 to that to make that 60 hundredths. I can also make that a percentage, 60%, 2 to the right. Okay. Now, which is not greater? Okay. So we're looking which one is smaller. Okay. Well, I already know if I'm starting at 60%, 66% is not smaller than 60%. So I know that one's out. I already know 3/4 is out because if I make that a decimal, that's 75 hundredths or 75%. 3/4 of a dollar is 75 cents. Well, 75% is greater than 60%. Okay? Now, I've got a good contender for 5900s. The 5900s is smaller than 60%. But I've got to look at this 5/6. Okay? I've got to look at this 5/6. So I don't 5/6 is one of the I don't really have memorized. But I can figure it out very quickly. Sorry. Okay? So I'm going to put the numerator inside the house. Put the denominator outside. 6 will go into 5 0 times. Remember, if your first number is not 0, you're setting it up wrong. 0 times 6 is 0. 5 minus 0 is 5. Go ahead and add in a decimal. Add in a 0. Okay. 6 will go into 58 times. 8 times 6 is 48. 50 minus 48 is 2. 6 will go into 23 times. 3 times 6 is 18. 2. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Because if I make that percentage, that's 83%. Okay? Now, what I want you to notice is if I keep going, it's just going to be 3 repeating. So 83 is bigger than 60. Sorry, no, A is wrong. So I did have a good contender. So D is my correct answer. Okay. All right, that's video for today. And again, remember, everything has to be turned in by Friday. Okay. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Later.